Washington.
This your boy, Martin for here once again. Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is your boy Jamari4 here once again. Now, before we even start this, we're going to address the elephant in the room. Okay, so, quick story. So, I was trying to figure out just some look that I wanted to wear for Halloween. I'm going to Atlanta to meet up with Sweet Addictions TV, and we'll be there with Wade and a few other people to, go to this little haunted house or Netherworld and whatnot. If you're in Atlanta, come check us out. And I was just like, I wanted to do something for Halloween since I couldn't really do like a full-on costume head to toe. I was like, well, bitch, if I don't have a costume, one thing that I can control is the mud, okay? And so I just started playing around with some different stuff earlier, and this is just the end result as it is of right now. Who knows if it's gonna change? I'm giving like even like my pigtails, I'm giving like a bit of Harley Quinn meets the Joker, has dinner with Cruella de Vil situation going on here. So, it's cute or whatever. I got my little one brow. Now, this was originally one-sided, and the other side was naked, because I don't have any foundation or anything on. This is just shadows and liner and whatnot. So, that's why you still see all my imperfections in my skin. But I just wanted to quickly address that, because I know people are going to ask, and I can't just sit up here and pretend like it's not there. So, yes, it's there. Let me know what you guys think about it. Did I smudge this bitch? I did smudge it. Let's pretend like this is, proper. So anyway, I know I didn't do a lot of videos. I think I just did like one video last week for Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. I meant to do American Horror Story, but I saw it so late that I think I saw it like Friday or Saturday, and I was just like, okay. I mean, we'll talk about the continuation. We could continue that on this week. So here we're talking about Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. Now, this is actually starting to pique my interest, because for a while, Love and Hip Hop Hollywood has been kind of meh. It's been kind of, run-of-the-mill Love and Hip Hop drama nonsense. But it's starting to come to a head, and it's starting to get a little good. So, I broke everything up into like sections, because usually they bounce back and forth between storylines. No, we gonna knock out all the pins from one group, so I ain't gotta come back to nobody. So, we're gonna deal with Ray J, Princess, and their whole wedding drama first. So Ray J opens up, he talks to his dad, trying to get, another perspective, because basically his mom is one-sided. His mom could care less about Princess and their relationship. And it's unfortunate that you have a parent, somebody that you love and are close to, doesn't want you. Well, it's not that she doesn't want you to be happy, but your idea of being happy doesn't match with her idea of being happy. So she's going to semi-sabotage your wedding, which kind of sucks. Which, as a child, and your mother is like relishing in your problems, your personal relationship. Sorry, my phone ran out of space. I had to delete some stuff. So, anywho. So, yeah, he's asking his dad for a different perspective. And basically, his dad is like, look, y'all are your own individual people. Y'all each have your own individual personalities. You love her. I can tell that she loves you. Don't let your mama get into y'all mess. This is y'all thing. Y'all supposed to go and be happy and just do you. So it kind of, revigorates Ray J, like, okay, Princess is the one for me. No matter what we go through, it's going to be me and Princess, ride or die. Okay, so on Ray J's end, it's all good and pretty. That's not really the case necessarily on Princess's end, because homegirl goes to the lawyer's office and she wants to get a prenup, okay? Or at least she's discussing about getting a prenup at this point. She's at her bridal party with Brandy and her best friend, and she explains that she wants this prenup, and they're kind of, really iffy about it, and Brandy especially, because, she's so close to the Norwoods. I guess they grew up together. She knows Sonia. She's known Ray her whole life. So she feels like it would be somewhat of a betrayal if she were to go and tell that she wants to get a prenup. Now, what was interesting about this is because she made a point to where I feel like Princess put me in the same position that I put her in when it came to telling Max about my store. Now, if we just fast forward real quick to the previews of next week. Brandy does eventually tell Ray J. I feel like I was like not in the camera. Brandy does officially tell Ray J about the store. Well, Brandy tells Ray J about the prenup. Sorry, and when Ray J tells Princess starts getting mad and acting like, oh, it's time to ask somebody out from the wedding. But hold on. You, in that same scenario, like she said, y'all put each other in the same situation. You felt it was appropriate to go to Ray J or to talk about the store, who Ray J did eventually go to Max and tell him about it. So the fact that she told your business is just the same as you telling her business. So I don't feel like Princess is gonna have a reason to be mad, because this is the exact same thing that you did. Now, I don't think she did it to be petty, because it's not like, her and her husband made up now. But at the time, shit. I'm just like, you can't be mad at her for doing the same thing that you did, sweetie, So Princess goes to the lawyer and she tries to draw up this prenup. And what was interesting is that she said that she wants to make it so that if he has a child outside of the marriage, then the prenuptial is null and void, and she wants to take half because he cheated. Now, I'm not a lawyer by no means, but I'm almost certain that is not how how prenups work. You can't. I don't know if you can set guidelines like that. Even the lawyer was like, "That's a new one." I don't know if we've ever had anybody, draw up a prenup like that. So, we're gonna see how this goes, because I guess next week we're getting the actual wedding ceremony and whatnot. So we're gonna see how this goes. So that's Brandy and Princess and them. Next, let's move over to the mama brawl, the moms duking it out. So Lyrica brings Pam, her mother-in-law, to this restaurant to apologize for the things that she said, to her when they last encountered. Very big and mature. And Pam accepted the apology, and Pam was just adamant, like, I don't have a problem with you. The issue is just all that your mama, she crazy. She don't know what she want to do. Like, she just has this vendetta and this, that, and the fourth. And at first you can kind of tell, like, Lyrica was getting semi-annoyed that, she was still talking about her mama, but at the same time, I think she realized that she was right. I think she still realized that she was right. So she comes up with a plan that, okay, well, my mom agreed to give back the car in, exchange for the car that A1 kind of took. So what I want you to do, I want you to come with me to our meetup spot and kind of mull things over. And I'm going to say that, I brought you on my accord, and we're just going to make up from there. And, Pam was with the idea, but my thing is, I don't know why Lyrica thought that would just go over so smoothly. Because it didn't. And when they got to the parking lot, there were no words. There was not even a, hey, how you doing? Like, she said, what are you doing driving my car, Pam? So she picked her up, dragged her out the car. Pam didn't even have a chance to get a word in. She done picked her up, pulled her, yanked her out the car, yelling, screaming at her, already probably threw a few punches because security got involved. And Lyrica at this point is just so frustrated. Like, when you're talking to a parent, at least this only happens with me, or people like that you really, really love, and you're so frustrated with them that you just can't help but just scream, lash, and cry at the same time, because you're angry, you're frustrated, but you care about them at the same time. So you're so emotionally invested that it makes you cry and be mad at the same time. And I feel like that's just where Lyrica's gotten to this point. And she like, okay, I know me and A1 are we're planning on being together. So our families have to be together. Just for the sake of us, because we don't want to have to live a life where we can't, be with our families, basically. You know what I'm saying? So I was feeling her. I was feeling her, while she was upset, and she was just like, "Mom, I feel like you are the cause of this because at this point, Pam didn't say nothing. She didn't say anything mean to you. You just ran up on her, yanked her out the car, and just started punching. So she basically, demanded like, I want you to hug. I want you to hug it out. She was like, I don't feel like I should. Every time I look at her, I get, disgusted, and." And you could tell, like, I could tell for the past couple episodes that Pam has really been trying to be, like, the bigger person for the sake of their kids. So that's why I'm going to need Mama Lyrica to get with the program. So they eventually did kind of hug it out. And so at this point, at least for right now, the whole thing is squashed. Supposedly. So, moving on really quickly, we're going to talk about Nikki or really Tiara and her whole court situation. Ooh. Excuse me. So, this whole situation with her going off on the Uber driver, I feel like that was forever ago. I'm not sure the time frame between when this is filmed and when that happened. But she apparently was supposed to hire a lawyer and meet with her lawyer, but I guess she was late or something. And so they said, oh, now you have to have what do they call it? A bench warning. I'm not sure what a bench warning is. Can somebody clarify what a bench warning is if they know? Because I was kind of confused. So now she has to go and turn herself in. She may be put in jail, and which actually ends up happening. She gets locked up, and she was like, if I do get locked up, I'm gonna give you the bail money so that you can go ahead and just hand that check off as soon as time comes. So she gets locked up, and she's doing all this for self-reflection, and she's saying, I'm working so hard to get my career back on track. And I'm like, I can't tell, honestly, because you haven't released any music since. Excuse me. You haven't released any music since that record that she did years ago. I forget the name of it. I want to say it has something to do with back when her and Ray J was dating. That's how you know how long ago that was. So I need to see more to believe that you're really, actively working to get this popping. I need to see more than what you're doing, basically. But she's still, self-reflecting. She said, that Andrew and Nikki are such great friends. Andrew was in the courthouse with her the whole time. And when she got out, Nikki was right there behind her, or right there, beside him, waiting on her. So she was like, this isn't what I want to be in. She was in jail for 6 hours. So she was like, this is not, the life for me. So she's going to try to, get her life around and et cetera, et cetera. I'm like, okay, Tiara, good. Because I actually do want to see Tiara win. Because as long as she was, not Ray J crazy, I was with her. So it was once she started being a little Ray J crazy, I was like, okay, girl, you're doing a lot. But she hasn't even really mentioned Ray J this whole season. So proud of you, girl. I'm proud of you. Next, we go, let's see. Okay, I ain't at the last part yet. Moniece and her sex tape. All right. So apparently we discovered that Moniece had a long distance relationship with some rapper, I guess, named Philip. And so she meets up with him to try to get the whole story on how this whole tape leaked. And I was with Moniece the whole way about this whole thing. As he was sitting there explaining, did y'all hear his explanation? This man said he had 2 phones. One had the sex tape on it, and I guess the other phone was another phone that he used. I don't know. He didn't really explain why the fact he had 2 phones. But one of the phones, the phone that had the sex tape on it, got misplaced and lost. And it just so happens that the person who found it is Jason Lee. Do you really want, as I repeated that back to you, does that make sense? Does that make sense that you just so happen to lose your phone? Now it's not like phones don't get lost, but phones don't get lost and then just stumble into the hands of one of the biggest gossip blogs who just so happens to have, not the best light of me. So no, bruh, stuff like that don't happen. And then for you not to tell me, and we supposed to be friends, and you never told me about said sex tape being leaked or lost, or your phone being, breached or whatnot, leads me to believe that you probably did try to sell the sex tape, and nobody bought it, and it just so happened that Jason Lee happened to find it and stumble upon it before you had the chance to do anything about it. So that whole lie that he just spewed, it was nonsense. And Moniece didn't buy it either, so she was slapping him around and whatnot, trying to say that she's gonna get her attorneys involved, as she should, because I don't know. It just seems like a lot of these people who are getting mad for people saying that people are going too far aren't above half the stuff that they're saying that these other people are doing, but that's none of my business. So, lastly, we can talk about why Mona Scott brought Hazel Lee back on this show. I thought when they got rid of Berg, they got rid of Hazel. So she's back. Says that she's popping because she has this brand new record. Now tell me this. Have any of you heard this record? Show of hands. Show of hands. Has any of you heard of this alleged record? No? Neither have I. So, she's talking about how she's living life to the fullest and she wants to meet with Tierra and do this and the fourth. Okay, even though you read her under the table last time, y'all bet, but you know what? People make up. Okay, fine. She's, talking about how much she misses her. They have reminiscence. But then she starts going on about, the spat that she had, I guess, on Twitter about Masika. And Tierra's like, look, I don't have a dog in this fight for real. And I'm not really here to talk about that. So if you want to talk about that, I'm so sorry. I'm yawning all in the video and shit. Y'all forgive me because I'm not going to edit it. I don't really have a dog in this fight. And I kind of hate that too when my friend is going on and on about a subject that I know matters so much to them, but I could care less about because I'm not in it. So I try not to be a negative person and just kind of cut them off and be like, I'm not really with nothing that you're talking about right now. I don't want to be that person. So that's what Tierra was like. So when they finally... Oh, no. When Masika was having a conversation with Moniece, when Moniece was explaining to her about the sex tape, she was explaining to her about what happened with her on Twitter and how basically Hazel E... No, they had a spat, before, and Hazel... Not Hazel, I keep wanting to say her name already. Masika went on a talk show basically saying that she doesn't know who she is, because I guess she doesn't. She's trying to pull the Mariah Carey on Jennifer Lopez. And I guess Hazel Lee fired back at her saying that, oh, is that why I'm on a track with your baby daddy or something like that? And so Masika was like, oh, okay, well, let's hear this alleged track. And she listened to it and she didn't hear Fetty's verse. I guess she had somebody on it, but it wasn't Fetty. So she sent it to Fetty and she was like, and Fetty was like, I have no idea what this is or what she's talking about, but I have no part in this whatsoever. So, so she's like, well, she's going around here making all these lies. And I sat there and listened to her record and it made my ears bleed. I was like, well, I mean, I would have wanted to listen to. If you claim that you got my baby daddy on here, let's hear it. Okay? So, apparently they meet at the club. I guess Hazel Lee was hosting or something. Okay. So I guess Masika sends a bottle over to her. And she's like, oh, this came from, the girl over there. And she's like, oh, no, we don't drink poison. So she goes over there and Hazel Lee walks over to Masika. Now, first of all, was I the only one that noticed? When Hazel Lee was walking over, even while Hazel Lee was standing there in front of Masika having this discussion, her areolas were on full erect. they were poking out, they were saying hello to the camera. I don't know if that was on purpose, because it's one thing to have, you know, large breasts. That's very common among these reality shows. But the fact that her nips were fully, I was like, okay, I'm not sure if this is purposeful. Is it cold in the room? You know, so it's not uncommon for females' nipples to become hard at random places. You know, just like men get random boners, it's not uncommon. But it just seemed very odd for her to be having like an altercation, and her, you know, chest plate is doing something else. I just thought that was funny. But anyway, back to the actual discussion. Masika was basically like, look, if you're not here to apologize about the things that you said about my daughter, we have nothing really here to talk about. And I guess Hazel Lee was like, well, I didn't really say anything about your daughter. And she's like, oh, no, but you did. And so they just started going back and forth. And then Hazel Lee said, you know, I thought you would look better than this. I thought you were supposed to look magnificent. I'm disappointed. And Masika was like, girl, all you did was go get nip tucked and plucked and injected. So, of course, you probably think you look better. I'm all natural, except for her hair. But, you know, other than that, I'm all natural. So Masika turned her back. She was just like, you know, girl, bye. I'm not about to sit here and have this argument with you. And Hazel Lee decided to, I guess, try to assault her with her glass, her drink. I don't know if it came in contact with her. We couldn't really see it all that well. But now they're popping off at the mouth, going back and forth. I'm just like, okay. All right. So that was the end of the episode. I guess next week we're going to see how this whole wedding is supposed to, you know, play itself out. Yeah. Let me know what you guys think about the episode in the comments. Also, let me know if you guys are feeling this situation I got going on. I think I like this part. I don't think I'm going to do this again. I just wanted to see what it would look like if I did something on both eyes, but I think I'm just going to like it like half and half, and this just be naked. I think I'm going to like that. So let me know what you guys think about in the comments. Get another closer look. I really like this brow, though. I think this is like my favorite part about it. So, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I think I'll see you guys tomorrow for Bad Girls Club. Yes. So, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Yeah, I've tried to end this video too many times. Bye-bye.
Like, share, subscribe.
Washington.